FlySafair pilots striking from today for the next 14 days or so. That's if the situation doesn't change, of course. They had initially opted for 1 day, having been given the employer notice to initially limit disruptions that would come with them downing tools. However, it's understood that they indicate that FlySafair in turn announced a 7-day consecutive lockout of their pilots, which the pilots argue shows that the airline is deliberately opting for a prolonged and destabilising conflict. Solidarity also noting that the decision by the employer comes after 2 of its senior executives sold shares to the fortune apparently of about 90 million rand. Watching all these moving parts is SABC News economics reporter Katlego Legodi, who joins us now live from OR Tambo International Airport. And Katlego, my goodness, there seems to be a lot of layers to this conflict.
A very good morning to Ayanda and to our viewers at home. You still find us this morning at the OR Tambo International Airport, really just tracking impact in terms of this strike action. It's the wage dispute here by the workers belonging to trade union Solidarity and their employer, this being a FlySafair. So already just walking into the airport earlier on, you would tell that there are frustrations on the ground. What is the busiest point in terms of this airport this morning where FlySafair's section is concerned would be the inquiry section of this particular airline, whereby a lot of commuters, instead of even just queuing to go and check in, they start there first because of the whole frustration that would come through from this particular issue of the strike action by the workers. I'm going to step out of shot for Vanessa, my colleague, to show you what is happening here. Most of them also just checking their phones for those communications as well, in terms of whether their flights have been cancelled or they're still on schedule. And some of them are really frustrated because I think the most airline that is affected by the cancellations here would be the route to Cape Town. So you can tell that most of the commuters here will have to seek alternatives. Also, we are told, Ayanda, that others have already received communication that a refund here will happen in about 21 days. So some of them not willing to wait for that long because they can't afford to wait for that long. But at the same time, we know very well that there are about 60 to 65% of the regional airlines that belong to FlySafair. Most of those lanes or those routes would not be working today. As you walk into this particular airport as well, you check the boards, you see they're cancelled. And this is something that would be somewhat of an experience of the commuters that are here. Some of them really frustrated, Ayanda, because they can't afford even a delay here coming from a FlySafair. I'm going to bring into the conversation with us this morning Given, who's one of the residents or commuters that are frustrated by what is happening here this morning. Just confusion all around, given looking at the fact that you are supposed to be on your way as we speak right now to Durban, but you are here. Maybe just give us a sense of what is happening here, and do you get a sense that at least this impasse can be resolved sooner so you're able to get on your way?
My brother, it's very ridiculous. It's very, very frustrating. So I was on my way to Debs. I should be at work at this time. I booked a flight that was supposed to depart at 6:45. So I've been here at 6 o'clock early in the morning. Just 10 minutes before the departure, we were just told that it's closed. So we can't check in, we can't do nothing. And to our other colleagues, they were told the flights were being cancelled. And when we questioned it, we were told that the communication was sent out before. But we never received it. We never knew about the strikes and all that, which is really inconveniencing.
You were supposed to be at work on duty at this point in time. I'm sure also the employers are wondering as to what is happening here. Contingency measures, alternatives, where to from here, looking at the fact that your flight has been cancelled?
My brother, after I've spoke to the flight control desk, so they said they will put us on standby. So we're just hoping that the next flight, that will be at 10:10, we will get at least some seats there. But it's not guaranteed, we're just hoping. So we had to pay extra for that as well. So yeah, it's just ridiculous. One needs to stay here, but yes, I'm in continuous communication with my employers. They are aware of the situation, so I did send out the communication to them regarding this.
What would you like to see happen, and even to the airline itself, in terms of how they've handled this matter, or even how they're handling the negotiations, because this would be wage negotiations between an employer and an employee, but we see it spiraling all the way down to affect commuters as well. What is your thinking around that, and what would be your message to them in terms of the inconvenience that you received this morning?
My brother, if the employer and the employees can come together to resolve this matter as soon as SAP, that can help a lot. Look, everyone is frustrated. People were supposed to be at work. Nothing is happening. We're just hoping, wishing that this can be resolved as soon as possible. Now I'm going to Debs. On Friday the 25th, I should be back. I don't know what's going to happen. So if it's going to be the same issue, it's all frustrations.
Given, I really appreciate your time this morning. Given one of the frustrated commuters, and I'm going to ask Vanessa to just show you also what is happening this side, because the queue is really snaking and there are confusions, Ayanda, in terms of what is happening, how they are going to go about today, and some of them really just curious as to whether they'll have to spend another day in Johannesburg. Let me speak to this lady. Welcome to the SABC, my lady. We see that there are frustrations all around. Who are you? Where are you heading to? Were you aware that there is a strike action by FlySafair workers today?
Yes, I am aware that there is strike action, but we're going to Durban and apparently our flight is going. So, you know what, we'll just have to wait and see whether it does go. And yes, so that's all I can say. If we can't go, if it's cancelled, then we'll have to make other plans.
So it's a waiting game as well, uncertainty.
It's a waiting game, but uncertain. And I'm sure for some people it's very important for business and so on, but we're going on holiday.
Enjoy the holiday. Thank you very much for joining us on the SABC. And yeah, Ayanda, these are some of the stories that you'll get from the ground, from us here going into the afternoon. A lot of people are just worried about how the day is going to affect them. But again, one thing that is extremely frustrating for them is that there doesn't seem to be an end in sight here. Just last night, there was a statement coming out from Solidarity, the union, saying that, a last-ditch attempt by the CCMA to bring them back together to the table has failed. Hence, we see them having down tools, the workers here. They've withdrawn their labor, Ayanda. You won't see them picketing. You won't see them doing toi-toi. They have down tools. They have withdrawn their labor. And most of them are hoping that at least the employer, there will be some sense here and they will be back to the negotiating table. We're told here that there are about 26 of those flights that have since been cancelled from the morning. And we hear as well that the airline is saying that there are contingencies in place, but some commuters saying that as far as they're concerned, there have not been clear communication coming through from the airline to say how this strike action is going to affect them going forward. I end up?
Yes, certainly no visible demonstration, but the impact of them downing tools is clear to see. Katlego Legodi, live to us there from OR Tambo International Airport. For now, thanks very much indeed.